Hi, this is Rachel with Stirring the Deep. In Hebrews 10:12 it says, "But this man, after he had offered one sacrifice for sins forever, sat down at the right hand of God, from that time waiting till his enemies are made his footstool." Christ is the intercessor. He is what connects us and reconciles us back to the Father. So you now can go seeking to know the Father, which is possible because of Christ. Because as you start really seeking in truth, Christ, it's like you start learning and you can engage Him even though you still have sin in you, because God knows the end which Christ gave you, which is His Spirit, that you'll be completely righteous. So because the end is that you are completely righteous, because of Christ's Spirit filling you, then you can have this dynamic with the Father. And so now your sin actually becomes a tool to teach you righteousness. And so that's how the Father sees it. But God the Father is everywhere. I mean, He's Spirit. He's everywhere. And so Christ is that mediator. And sometimes when people read this verse, they think of like somewhere in the heavens, far off, distance from ourselves. No, it's right here. It's right there where you are in your room. And you can come to the Father who is right there because Christ is right there, the mediator. But that's how you have to come, with that desire to know Him as He is, and that means to be made like Him. Because when you come near Him, that's what happens, is that you become as He is. You take on part of the divine nature. So Christ is saying, He's having that place, that mediator role, until all His enemies, so anything contrary to His Spirit, anything that's not pure love, righteousness, peace, purity, holiness, justice, anything that's not that, until all of that is destroyed, that is where He is. Because that will show that everybody's been reconciled back to God. So as everybody comes to seek the Father, they can, because of Christ, and through that dynamic, it's actually they're sanctified and purified, and they learn righteousness in that. Because here's what happens is that God is He's right here, okay? And who He is Spirit, so He is love. So when you're abiding in the purest of love, you're abiding with God. God's in that love. God is in the peace. God is in the provision for you. He is in the joy that you feel. That is experiencing God. And when those things come from within you, then He's in you. So when you have true joy, when you have true love, it's like that's because you are becoming knit to His Spirit. He's a part of you. And that's what that whole dynamic of Christ allows, because He's actually filling us with His Spirit. Okay? So this is this is why Christ came. That is part of God's plan of reconciling this world to Himself, right? Is that He infused this place with life, but now there's that process of growing and being sanctified and transformation. And that is what we're now going through. This world is now transforming into life. So all that's not of life is being purged. So that's a very important verse to understand about what that dynamic is, because we're to seek the Father. And in seeking, and we're able to do that because of Christ tying us back to Him, that we now in death are connected to life, and that life can now be infused in our life so that we become life. It's a beautiful dynamic. And once all have done that, because God knows how to bring someone to repentance. Remember, what's impossible with man is possible with God. God knows how to save. That's how He created this world, right? To accomplish that victory, to accomplish that end. That was a plan from the beginning. And once He's all in all, then Christ isn't really the mediator. He is in us. We're a part of him. We're united to him in his glory, the beauty of his spirit, the purity of it, the righteousness, the love, the humility of it is going to just fill everything. It is going to be glorious. And that's why we're called his brethren, right? Because we will be like him. So that's why he sits in that place as a mediator until all his enemies are made his footstool. So it's only his power, his authority, his reign in every soul, because that's where the reign is. The reign is in the souls of men. And it's either right now Satan's reigning in you, which is everything contrary to God, or it's God reigning in you. And you're either in one place or you're growing into the other place. So that is what's happening, and that's why that is such an important dynamic to understand. Till next time, keep stirring the deep. It's the one thing that changes everything else.